Once upon a time, a one Mr. Floyd Mayweather absolutely ruled the world of combat sports, and honestly, he ruled the sports world in general for a period of time, at least in part. I mean, this guy was the biggest star, he made the most money, and even his press conferences became huge events and spectacles. I mean, Pacquiao versus Mayweather was so big. I remember I was in middle school when it happened, and you had teachers debating with students about who would win between Pacquiao and Mayweather. And even after Mayweather's initial retirement, he would still make history with numerous spectacles and crossovers. Obviously, he had the fight against Conor McGregor, which was a professional bout. And then even after that, you had the exhibition against Tenshin Nasukawa, which of course opened up a lot of conspiracy about it being fixed or Tenshin taking a dive. We'll not address that, but just the point is, this was a huge spectacle in and of itself, even though Floyd was retired and it was an exhibition match. Lately, something's changed. You see, I just found out that Floyd Mayweather actually has 3 more upcoming exhibition bouts reported for this year. And I had no idea those were happening because nobody's reporting on it. I found out about his upcoming bout against Mike Zambides through Mike Zambides' Instagram page. And what I'm wondering is, why does no one care anymore? These don't seem to have gotten any attention at all from media or fans. And some of these you'd think would be massive fights. I mean, you have reportedly a rematch against Pacquiao, which may be an exhibition. It looks like they may be coming to terms for making it a pro fight, actually, or it looks like it may not happen at all. And that might be part of the problem here as well. Another potential huge fight he's teased about against Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout. You'd think this would be huge news, but again, I didn't even know these were happening until just recently. I found out about the fight against Mike Zambides and then looked into Floyd Mayweather and saw the news about some of these other fights. So why is it that there's no interest? I mean, he's teased these 3 massive fights, a huge crossover with a kickboxing legend, a rematch against his biggest opponent, and then obviously Mike Tyson, who is a spectacle in and of himself. 3 announcements and no interest at all. What's going on here? And you're probably saying, well, these are exhibition bouts. They don't count for anything, so who cares? But again, he's made huge spectacles out of exhibition bouts before. Obviously, I mentioned the Tenshin Nasukawa fight. That was huge. That was in the news for a long time, and people still talk about it years later. Now that Tenshin has taken up his own boxing career and challenged for a world title, look at any post on Instagram or social media about Tenshin Nasukawa, you'll see a Floyd Mayweather gif in the comments. So that obviously had a huge impact, and that was an exhibition bout that didn't matter. And at the time, not a lot of people outside of Japan or hardcore kickboxing fans knew who Tenshin Nasukawa was. There was no issue there with his opponent not having any name value. And he went and also did the influencer boxing thing. I think he had a match against KSI's brother. That didn't necessarily get a lot of interest as compared to the Tenshin fight, but I still saw clips of it. I still see clips of that fight come on my feed today. So that's still something that had interest. It had viewers, and it had a lasting impact. And you might also say, well, he's old now. I mean, the Tenshin fight was over 6 years ago at this point. The fight with Deji was quite a while ago as well. So he's old, people stopped caring. But you think about it, yeah, sure, he's old. But think about some other exhibition bouts that have happened recently. You had Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout. Those guys are both super old, but that generated quite a bit of interest as well, at least according to my recollection of it. So I don't think the issue is the fact that these are exhibition bouts or that he's old. I think people have just sort of lost interest in Floyd Mayweather in general, especially after hearing about some of his alleged recent financial troubles and tax issues. So I think people are starting to see these exhibition fights for what they actually are, which is a cash grab, right? It looks like the interest may have already been gone for a little while here. You see, when I was looking into this Mayweather thing after I saw he announced a fight against Zambides, I realized he's had 3 or more exhibition bouts in the past couple years that I didn't even hear about, and I don't think anybody else heard about. Did you know that Floyd Mayweather fought somebody named Aaron Chalmers? I didn't. Did you know he apparently fought the grandson of mobster John Gotti? I remember seeing some kind of clip about it getting broken up or there being a no contest because people were jumping into the ring. That's really all I saw of it, but apparently they fought twice. I definitely didn't know that they fought twice, and I bet you probably didn't either. unless you're a full-on Mayweather hardcore fan, which I get it. So the issue isn't that these are exhibition fights or that he's old, because as we've seen, exhibition fights can draw huge interest, and fights between old guys can draw huge interest as well. I really don't know what to make of this, because for such a long time, Floyd Mayweather was the man. He was the face of boxing. He was really the face of combat sports. It's funny, I even saw a post recently this year on Instagram claiming that Floyd Mayweather is still the face of boxing despite having been retired for so long, because there's no huge stars in boxing currently, which I definitely disagree with and has absolutely proven to be false given that nobody cares about his upcoming fights. So I don't think he's still the face of boxing. Now, I said I don't know what to make of it, but I do kind of have a theory here. I think it's sort of a boy who cried wolf thing where he's announcing all these fights and then they don't happen. All three of the fights that he's announced against Zambides, against Pacquiao, and against Tyson, they've all been sort of called into question as to whether they're actually going to end up happening because of his tax issues that he's run into. Apparently his passport is being revoked, so he may not be able to travel internationally when this fight against Zambides is going to be in Greece. So I think people might not be believing that these fights are actually going to happen, so that's why there's no interest. But still though, I mean, these are huge names he's reportedly going up against. Now, knowing what I know now, I'm sure these fights are probably not even going to happen, but I bet the Zambides fight will still happen. I mean, that's coming up in about a month or so now. Who knows what'll happen in the next month, but it looks like a done deal. And I did mention, yeah, these are huge names he's going up against. You got Pacquiao and Tyson. I understand why people might not know about or be interested in the Zambides fight, because unfortunately a lot of people don't really follow kickboxing that closely, and even if they do, Zambides has been retired for almost 10 years at this point as well. As a hardcore kickboxing fan, this announcement did excite me. I mean, I'm not going to watch the fight. I don't even know how to watch the fight, but it drew my interest at least. But I still understand why people might not be clamoring to watch this upcoming fight, given that unfortunately Zambides is relatively unknown to casual combat sports fans. And a quick side note on this, one of the guys who's reporting on Mayweather's upcoming fights, I mean, absolutely no reason to be so disrespectful to the kickboxing legend Mike Zambides here. He's saying that there's a third bout expected in Athens against some guy you've never heard of and don't care about. First of all, he doesn't even get his grammar right. Against some guy you never heard of should be you've never heard of or you have never heard of. But there's no reason at all to be that disrespectful to a legend like Mike Zambides, especially if you're a guy who claims to be a combat sports journalist like this guy Jesse Holland here. You say you don't care about or never heard of Mike Zambides, a guy with over 150 wins and 11 plus world titles. Sure, you might not know about him if you're not a hardcore kickboxing fan, but this guy who claims to be a combat sports journalist, he's covering random signees in bare knuckle boxing. Do you think anyone's heard of these guys? I mean, just look at this high effort and high quality journalism here covering the One Championship Samurai event. One Championship staged its One Samurai combat sports event last night at Ariake Arena in Tokyo, Japan. That's where Nadeka Yoshinari defended his strawweight title opposite S. Kyatson Crit. He can't even type the guy's full name. Yeah, I mean, this is just... he's putting no effort into this here. I don't know how this guy can call himself a journalist. His bio even here says Jesse Holland is among the longest tenured media professionals in combat sports news space. He's been covering MMA, professional wrestling, and boxing on a full-time basis since early 2004. So obviously this guy should know who kickboxers are, especially some legends like Mike Zambides. I think he's just saying that to downplay Mayweather's career and his fighting and financial situation, but no reason to disrespect the legend. I know I went off on some crazy side tangent here, but the point still stands. I guess nobody cares about Mayweather now, even though there's a lot of old guys out there and former boxers that are doing exhibition bouts or coming back and doing pro bouts that are getting quite a bit more interest. You'd think one of the biggest boxers of all time, or at least in the modern era, would have some interest going against his biggest rival or biggest opponent in a rematch that may end up being a pro fight if it even happens. That would count on their official records. Or against the legend Mike Tyson, who defined an era on his own. So I'd love to hear from anybody who sees this, what you think of the whole Floyd Mayweather situation, or if you have any other theories why no one cares, or if you think I'm wrong, if you think that a lot of people do care and maybe I'm just missing the mark on this and I haven't seen the reports and reactions from the fan base. Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention, but if you think I'm wrong there, or if you've heard of all these fights and you've seen people be interested in them, definitely let me know that as well. But above all else, you're going to want to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will keep them coming.